In this video, I'm going to show you how to use decorators in Python to print out an execution report in for function calls. You might be wondering what are decorators, what is a execution report. Let's take it one step at a time, and I'll show you why we need decorators before I even tell you what decorators are. Uh, s- so, the most frequently cited use for decorators is for timing how long a function takes to execute. Let's say we have a function hello which prints out hello world, right? So we have this function and we want to, let's say we want to time it for whatever reason. What we would do is we would import time, then we would say start equal to time dot time, then we'll call the function hello, we would say end equal to time dot time, then we would print out the time actually taken by saying print of time taken braces seconds dot format end minus start. Of course, run the time import cell first. Yeah, so of course printing hello world doesn't take much time, so uh, this is the general way you would time a function. But then let's say you have to call this function hello in a lot of places, or maybe you want to time multiple functions. So it would becoming really cumbersome to write this whole time code everywhere, right? So that's where decorators come in to help. Let's dive right in, and I'll show you how to define a decorator, so that well we can go ahead and see how to use a decorator after that. So to define a decorator is simply a function within a function. So let's call our decorator report, and the input to decorator is the function to be decorated. So pass in an argument called function, and inside this report function, we are going to define another function called reporter, which is going to take in the arguments that you pass to your decorator function. And here the magic is going to happen, where you're going to actually put all your timing code. So here you're going to do the exact same thing that we did for the hello function, except that we are doing it for func here, because that's how we have passed the argument, passed the decorated function. So, and after that we are going to return reporter. And as simple as that, believe it or not, our decorator for timing functions is complete. Now we can go ahead and use this decorator, and the syntax for that is at report. Then we define our function. So let's actually do a big function, a function which will take a lot of time. So add till n, we're going to add whole numbers from 0 to n, total equal to 0 for I in range of 1 comma int of n plus 1, total plus equal to I, return total, right? So now our function is defined, and we have also decorated the function with our report decorator that we defined. So we can call this function now. I'm gonna use 1e7 as a big enough number. So oops, something is not right. Of course, we didn't execute the code cell with the decorator definition. uh, of course, yeah, we also need to pass in args and quargs to the function call. And what args and quarks are is the names don't need to be args and quarks, but the basic is that for a single asterisk, if it's in the function definition, it's going to take in all the extra uh, extra values that are passed and return it as a tuple. Similarly, when you're passing it to a function, passing an iterable to a function, be it a list or a tuple or a set, it's going to unpack those values into uh, separate values and pass them to the function. uh, Double asterisk does the same thing, but with named arguments such as keyword arguments, such as here in this, if we were to pass, let's say, arg equal to 123, it's going to return a dictionary with key value arg and I mean key with an entry key as arg and value as 123. And this, and passing it to a function with double asterisk does the same thing. So now, of course, we can run it now, and it should, something is missing. Whoops, what went wrong? uh, right, we forgot to run the decorator code cell after making the change. So yeah, now it runs, and as you can see, it prints out the time taken. One other thing we would like to do here, in case of some functions, is that, let's say, instead of printing hello world, we are returning the string. So what we would like to do is return, we would like to take the return value, and here we would like to say the function returned, right? We would like to do something like this. So similarly, if we want to do it for other functions, we would like to do something like pass in, let's say, sum till, whoops, yeah, sum till n's value is this. Let's say we want to print this, and we want to return n and total. We can't simply do that by putting an extra argument here called statement, but instead, we what we need to do is, the highest level function needs to have the arguments passed here, and inside which we need to define a wrapper function within which the actual decorating function, in this case reporter, is going to be. So this wrapper function will be passed func, and wrapper is going to return reporter, report is going to return wrapper. Believe me, this works. It's a little confusing, but Python's syntax is that way. So yeah. Right. We didn't include it here. Yeah. So we're gonna say statement plus and put a slash in here, dot format, and of course we need to take the return values, and we are going to unpack it and give it to the format function. And yeah, now it works perfectly, and as you can see, the value is returned, and the requested string is printed with the formatted values of the formatted with the returned values. So this is what I meant by an execution report decorator. One other feature of Python I wanted to show you is that you can stack different uh, decorators on top of one another. So let's just define a dummy decorator here. I'm just going to make some. I'm just going to print stacked deck, right? Oops. And then we want to do return wrap. Now that our second decorator is ready, what we can do is we can just say bec2 Now we have two decorators for our function, and both of them work as expected. So that's all for now, and thank you.